Hello and welcome to an edition of the Meats playlist. We will be taking a look at this guy, Territory Jerky, hot beef jerky in a very small bag, which in itself I find worrisome. But a little background first. So I just reached 6,000 subscribers and I wanted to thank you, and I wanted to do bonus content for this evening in celebration of that. And it was supposed to be a thank you video because there's a lot of people to thank. That said, I haven't really compiled all the people yet because there's a lot more of them than I thought. So I am still working on that video, and that will be coming because they need to be thanked. A lot of them need to be thanked no matter what. No matter how many subscribers I'm at, they need to be thanked. But as sort of just to fill in the gap here, I wanted to do something. So we'll be doing this. And it's hot. And the bag's red. And it's small. And the weight's low, which is worrying me. But we're going to do it anyway because I know you guys enjoy seeing me mentally traumatizing myself. So what you have here is a Australian product with two really big selling points, and it's from the Northern Territory, thus the Territory Jerky. Northern Territory is in the north of Australia in one of their less populated areas as a whole. So this is hot. Did I say that already? Yes, this is hot. And it's in a small bag. And when I say small, the bag itself, the dimensions are small, but it's only a 25-gram bag. To give you an idea, that's 9 grams less than a can of dip. So small portions, but a couple selling points. So Mr. Michael Wallace sent this to me as part of a bigger shipment of Australian jerky, and all the jerky from Australia that you've been seeing thus far in this playlist has been from that shipment. And I've been putting off on this one, and the one that's hotter than this, which you will not be seeing before 7,000 subscribers, especially if what's about to transpire actually transpires here. So I've been putting off on this and the other one for a while, but one of the big selling points is with jerky is how far it's dated out. And this is exceptional. He sent me this stuff 8 to 9 months ago. The best buy date. Now, in Britain and ex-colonial possessions, they put the days before months, okay? That is the 13th of March. Was that an 18? No, it's an 18. It's worn a little bit. 18th of March, 2023. So the first selling point on this product or this product line is how far it's dated out. And the second selling point for this is one serving size is the bag. Okay? You're going to want to pause now as I show you the nutritional information, but you want to take note of the protein, although I'm pretty sure it's going to jump right out at you. 17.7 grams of protein for what amounts to probably, I'm not even sure, probably less than a half a bag of Jack Links. So those are the two selling points for the product. Otherwise, there is a ridiculously large barcode, and then manufacturer's information is as follows. Manufactured at the Territory Jerky Factory, 1 Milner Road, Alice Springs, Northern Territory. And then they have a phone number. Ingredients are short, which is good, but somewhat secretive. Beef, soybeans, wheat, lemon juice, salt, and spices. The bag is red. It actually does have a very small window there, which you're not going to be able to tell anything by. On the front, it is saying no artificial colorings, no artificial flavorings. Wood smoke dried, Meat snacks. Product of the Northern Territories, Australia. Made in Australia from at least 95% Australian ingredients. 100% natural beef. Natural taste of the territory. Don't know what that is, but I have a bad feeling I am about to find out. So, you have a seam at the top and a seam at the bottom. It's sort of like an old potato chip bag. There is a seam running down the back. For this reason, and because I am going to save this so at later date I can show medical professionals what I ingested, I am going to cut off the top. The bag is open. Wow, it's really thin stuff. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, first sign of trouble in something like this, whenever you're dealing with something along these lines, is when there's a cross-sensory, like a crossover. Okay? So the product tastes hot. When it crosses senses over to your smell, and your smell says the product is going to taste hot, that is a bad sign. Wow. Okay, so it... Alright, so that's what you're looking at in the bag. I'm going to dump it out onto a paper... Whoa! Whoa! Jeez, oh my God, there's like dust coming out of it. Okay, so this is what you're looking at. The stuff is like Tinder dry. It is super thin. It sort of reminds me in the thinness and the dryness. It sort of reminds me of a mini product. So that's what you're looking at, but it is like super, super thin. And it's just breaking apart. It's so dry and so thin, it's just breaking apart into smaller and smaller pieces. There was a lot of powder that came out with this. Okay, so, man, just one piece smells like, okay. Super dry, tough chew. Nothing really happening heat-wise. Super dry, though. I mean, like, this may be the driest product I've ever had. Not saying that it's not supposed to be that way. It's probably supposed to be that way. The heat-wise is not as bad as I thought. It's just like, it's almost crunchy. Because of how dry it is and how thin it is. Imagine if a corn chip was made out of meat. Meat chips. So they have 5 peppers at the bottom of this thing, and 3 of them are colored in. And it is actually a little spicy. I'm not going to make out like it's not. But it's actually not what I was expecting. It smelled like I was in trouble. I may have spoken too soon. There's heat with it, definitely. And I am not a big fan of things that are so hot, you're like, let me swallow this as quickly as possible to get it off my tongue. But this, it's hot, but the hot is almost like background subdued. It's got a spiced flavor. It's so ridiculously dry. It gives it problems with... There's a bigger piece. It gives it problems with keeping together. Like, it just keeps breaking down farther and farther. Now, mind you, this got shipped regular post. Or, it was probably priority. But the product has some miles on it. Tell you what, though. It's a pretty darn tough chew. Nothing uncomfortable, but it's going to take a little while to eat all of this. I mean, even though it's only 25 grams, and it is a little deceptive, there is actually more product than you would think. And that's because it's so dry, there's no moisture content, which means there's no moisture weight. It has a... I don't know what to liken it to. Hot-wise, it has something familiar. Like, as Americans, we would recognize. And I don't know if it's a type of hot sauce, like a particular brand. I don't think Tabasco. I don't know. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I have a feeling a lot of the heat was in that powder stuff. There is stuff here that has more powder on it than the rest of the stuff. Let me try to get one that's... It's weird because I sort of feel hot in the face, but I'm not getting any uncomfortable sensation in the mouth. It's hot, and I have a pretty low tolerance for hot stuff, just because I don't care for it. But it's got a flavor. Like, I'm not trying to swallow it to get it out of my mouth as quickly as possible, so although it is pretty spicy, I'm picking up on the flavor of it. The flavor's pretty good, but it reminds me of a certain type of hot sauce. I don't know what, because I haven't had hot sauce recently. It's odd because I feel like I'm flushed, but I don't have anything uncomfortable going on with my tongue. There's a little bit of heat on, like, the back upper of my mouth and along the insides of my molars towards the back, and a little bit on the sides of my tongue, but it's not like, oh my God, what have I done? And that's where I thought this review was going. I'm still not doing the hotter one until 7,000 people, though. I got lucky with this. That's how I'm looking at it. So it's good. I mean, unfortunately, none of these companies, you can't get them outside of Australia. But if you're in Australia, or you know somebody that lives in Australia, you might want to try them out. They're interesting products. They tend to be, they're the real deal. This stuff is being smoke dried. They're not doing anything else to it. It's probably along the lines of, and all of the products thus far out of Australia have sort of been the same. Different cuts, thicknesses and whatnot, but it's not the gummy, gooey, rubbery Jack Link's product or Sweet Baby Ray's or anything like that. They're more along the lines of Mingy, which I like. The heat does build up a little bit, and that's why I'm letting this run. But it's not bad. It's good stuff. It's just unfortunate. And because I checked to see, like, is there any shipping overseas? Did they have any, like, outlets, like import-export in the U.S. for a couple of these companies now? And unfortunately, they don't. If you look back on this playlist, the trucker jerky, that was probably best suited to American taste, modern American taste. And they do not even ship. They have an online store in Australia, but they will not ship out of Australia, which is unfortunate. But with the whole COVID thing going on, stuff coming in and out of Australia is messed up. Anyway, Mr. Wallace, if you see this, right after we shut down operations, the U.S. Postal Service decided to shut down operations. Yeah, they decided to stop sending anything. The entirety of the Postal Service. I don't know if it's been reinstated, but anyway, this is a good show, and this has been the review of Territory Jerky, their hot beef jerky. It's a very dry product, very thinly cut, very like Mingy. It's got some heat, but it doesn't affect or make anything uncomfortable tongue-wise or whatnot. So that's fine by me. I like the flavor. It reminds me of a certain type of hot sauce, but I can't place it. I don't think it's Tabasco. It might be Frank's, maybe. I'm not sure. It reminds me of something. There's something very familiar. Not that I'm saying they're using said hot sauce. But it in a way, it's a familiar taste. It's a good flavor. All in all, pleasant experience for a one-time try. I do hope you all are well. Sorry for those of you that were waiting to see me fall out of this chair. I really didn't think this was going to go well, but it did. My bad. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.